Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mr. Collector 123 back from Megacon. Uh, yeah, we're gonna kind of just get right into it. I'm gonna give my thoughts if it's worth it, if it was overpriced, if I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with, I guess, beginning to the end. I'm gonna show some stuff that I purchased, some stuff that I got remarked. We're supposed to be having someone else with us. They're running a little bit late, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me just go ahead. Okay, so first thought about the show is I knew it was massive. I knew it was gonna be big. I knew it was gonna be, well, I really didn't know what to expect besides I know it's huge. So going in, first thing I would say is it's a little confusing because the people that shout out to Heroes After Dark. They managed to give me a badge, um, but going over there, it was a little confusing because they said that they swapped it out. It was supposed to be in a different building. It was in another building, so the place is massive, like huge. So that would probably be really the only thing I would say that I was a little confused about is because the Uber drop off. There's two. There's a west and there's a south. I would get dropped off on the west, and then but what they made you do is they made you go all the way back towards the other side, go in, and then they made you go all the way back to the side I was already dropped off on. So it was a little confusing. Um, didn't really understand how they were doing that, but and I get it. There was a lot of people there, so I guess they were just trying to control the line. But other than that, though, I think that was really the biggest complaint I would say. Later on, I found out there was a different entryway. So again, you just got to kind of know where you're going and definitely ask questions. The show itself, I would say it was definitely something I've never been to. Nothing like this caliber. If you couldn't find anything you liked or find anything to do, I don't know what to tell you on that. That's mind-boggling if that's the case. But there were tons of artists, tons of celebrities, tons of vendors. Um, but I would say the best thing out of that whole show was the space itself. Yeah, like if you look at videos, yeah, everything looks so massive and there's so many people. But I think they spaced it out to where, and Michael Presses will tell you that too once he gets on here, they space it out to where it doesn't feel like you're shoulder to shoulder. Of course, if you go to a certain celebrity or a certain artist, yeah, it's gonna feel congested. But overall, when you're walking, there's there's space. There's definitely space over there. They would have the barricades that would divide the artists, divide vendors, but there was still again open space. I think they said there was like over 150,000 people, which was mind blowing. There was always something to do. There was 3 levels. To be honest, I stayed on, I think, the second level, which is just going back and forth, to the main floor, artists, celebrities, vendors. So that's what me and Michael mainly stayed at. Um, Michael went down a little bit to go look at some other things on the first floor. We never even saw the 3rd floor. We didn't have time to do any panels. It was just mainly what we're going for, like artists. Oh, speaking of, let me give me one moment. I'm gonna bring them in. Oh,
Can
Michael, Michael, can you hear me?
can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you got to send it to me in IG. This you gave it to me on my message. I'm using it on my phone.
Oh, all right. Well, let me send that to you real quick.
All right.
All right. Give me one moment, guys. Well, Michael, talk to them real quick while I'm doing that. Just, I guess, give a little on what you thought of the beginning of the show.
Well, the it was as big as it was, which was strange that why Dallas is the way Dallas is. There was a as crowded as it was and as many people as it was. There was still a lot of elbow room. There's a lot of people, and they really weren't in your way like Dallas. And it's just so strange that why these other shows out of states are so much better and they're bigger. We're Texas and we're supposed to be big on everything, and yet They don't care. They don't give you room. There's no elbow room. Uh, uh, the only bad thing was, yeah, everything was overpriced in Florida. Gas is 50 cents higher than Texas. Uh, the places to eat inside the venue was way overpriced. But I get it; they got to make their money. But it's just real hard when you're there and you're trying to do so many different things, and eating is just one of them. You can't. A can of uh, Starbucks was $6. But I mean,
Yeah,
you take this off.
yeah, it was. Yeah, let me get you over here. All right, let me take this one off. All right, all right, let me. There we go. Yeah, it was. Like Michael said, it was pricey in general, but funny enough, I didn't know this. Now we do. There, I was sitting there because you know they had the food in there, so I'm sitting down eating something, and then all of a sudden this lady comes up and tells me, "Hey, is it cool if I can share the table with you?" So yeah, go ahead. She brings out this huge bag and starts making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for like 4 or 5 different people, her kids, and I guess there's so many people that you can't really check everyone's bag like thoroughly because you're trying to get in thousands of people in there. So I guess that makes sense, but I guess that's what I'm going to do next year is bring some stuff because it's pricey in there. Like Michael said, it's uh, yeah, that's probably one of the other biggest complaint was just that, and then kind of a little bit on the line control. Because like Mark Spears, where his entrance was where the main entrance was for people to come in, and of course he had a huge line, so it was a little confusing because they had everyone going into this one space, but then when people are wrapping around, you're mixing in regular guests with people that want to see Mark Spears. And he had a line throughout the whole weekend. I only went that one time with me and Michael in the morning, but other than that, it was massive. You saw how big it was, Michael. Like there was just certain guests that, and they were smart about it too. They knew their biggest ones needed like that end cap so they can wrap it around. But I thought that was a very poor space to put someone like him over there, where they're integrating with the crowd. It to me that didn't make any sense. It was just confusing. At least the beginning part before they opened the main doors at 10.
Yeah, and I talked to some of the artists, and they said they only gave them one table each, which again, Dallas would not have done that, but it worked out. The biggest, it wasn't a complaint. It's something that they did was Snyder and Jock were next to each other. So what they did was for line control and to better keep people away from each other was they didn't let Jock come in. They let Snyder come in first. He signed for an hour. Yeah, so Saturday he only signed for an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon. So you would move from his table. Jock was empty, so they would tell you go to Jock's table and put your books there, let them dry, put them in the bags, and get out. And they were just doing it like that, go from here to here. Then as soon as Snyder's time was up, he'd leave, and then Jock would come in. So there was never a cluster like
Yeah,
they did in Dallas, where they had three people, three different lines for three different people. Nobody knew where they were going.
yeah,
So they did a little bit things better. Pissed off a lot of people because they were thinking that as soon as Jock shows up, Snyder's still going to be there signing. Nope, he leaves. He's gone.
yeah. They definitely kept it to where they were keeping everyone separate, and that I guess caused that big cluster over there. Like I said, I think they did it they did it pretty smart. But I mean, the space that they had though was just massive.
Massive,
Yeah, it was. I've never been to a show like that. I don't know if you have, but it was just, and I didn't realize how big it actually was going back and forth until I've seen people already posting videos, and they're on the third level just looking down, and it looks like it's never ending. Like they literally have to go turn to the other side on the third floor to go see the rest of the show. So another thing was on because we got there Thursday. show started Thursday for I think like VIP. So we got there Thursday, Friday night ish. They started already setting up to where celebrities, I think like John Cena and some other celebrities were going to be there Saturday because a lot of them were going to be on the other end. I think for photos, and I think the no that end was for photos where we were at on artist side, and then on the other side was on the way opposite side was for autographs. So I think they did separate that pretty good.
They
But
did, but it's just weird. Why are you gonna make somebody walk clear across
you know,
the center, convention center? It's literally celebrities are in one end. Then
mhm,
you got the comics, the vendors. Then you got the artists. Then you got where the pictures and photo ops are. I mean, if it's somebody like, and there's a lot of people with walkers, canes,
yeah,
and scooters. It's just if it was me, I'm glad I'm not one of those people in that situation. But if it was me, I'd be pissed. I'd be extremely pissed. And
yeah,
people didn't know. They thought that the photo ops was where they were going to be for signatures. There's no clear signage.
hmm
But I mean, for people, I met a lot of people that were there for the first time, and they were confused as anything.
yeah,
I tried helping them as much as I could, but I mean, it's just signage and why are you going to separate them by a clear? This is like going to one end of a football field to another.
yeah. Bigger than that, honestly. It's like two of them. It was like I said, like we said, it's massive. Now, like I said, the thing I did like is how they kept that barricade, like where Artist Alley was. You know, you go through your rows, but on the that big outside where the artists are signing, they had that wall right there. So people that were not interested in the Artist Alley, they would go the back way through to get to where they need to go for either food court or they would go to the celebrities. So I did like that because it didn't intertwine with other people that were for a specific reason. So I did like that. I did like the way they did that. Um, I think the other thing I did not like uh, was the maps that they had. So I wouldn't even call it a map. In all honesty, all it is was it was a map, but it did not tell you where literally anything is. It
I
had
have one to show if you want me to.
yeah, yeah. If you have it, yeah, because we were looking for a map like for the first full day. We could not find one. Michael finally found one at the end of the first day, but it was useless. I'm gonna be honest with you. All it had were just booths. Didn't tell you what anything was. Didn't tell you where the artist was. Didn't tell you. I didn't tell you where celebrities were gonna be. Yeah, that's it right there. That's it. Like there was no actual like, hey, this person's gonna be here. Oh, let me actually get you bigger, Michael.
Just literally one sheet,
Yeah,
and
and
then the
then the
back
back.
was
Yeah, nothing. All it had were numbers on there. But where do you go to
that's
see the
the first
numbers?
one, and then then these weren't even together. They were not giving you these. So I actually found that this is what they actually had: one
Okay.
sheet
Yeah.
and
See, they weren't
nothing on the
together.
back. The back is blank, so there's no program books whatsoever. Nothing to you can keep as a
Mm,
memento. I mean, this is it. I mean, I don't know who would want to keep these as a memento. I mean, I wanted one to show that I went to Megacon, but you
yeah.
know, oh what? Not gonna happen.
Yeah. That was. It was basically the same thing that was on their side, which they should have had something on their, even their app. But I heard their app was acting up, so I didn't even bother looking at it. Um, but I guess we can go into the good things, unless there's something else, Michael, that you want to talk about that you did not enjoy or did not like.
The one thing I didn't like was coffee. They had a bunch of coffee vendors with regular coffee, no Starbucks style, and there was one, and it was outside. You had to go downstairs around the other side near the cosplayers, and they weren't even open the whole time. They would shut down like an hour or two before the con closes, and they were not open at all on Sunday. So
Mhm.
again, I don't know what's up with that. That Florida, that's a big. You get another thumbs down for that one.
Yeah, Michael was telling me left and right about the coffee situation. I'm not a coffee person, but obviously Michael likes it, and he was,
Neat.
I was upset about that, which he has a right to. I mean, you drink something every day, you would hope to get it over there, but um, yeah, those were the things that I would feel like were the negative. Now going to the positive, I would say, and this is more towards the not so much the show itself, but more towards the people you were meeting, like the artist. I enjoyed every artist I came in contact with. Super nice, super friendly.
Hmm.
But and you know what? Since we are talking about artists, I am going to go one more negative, and this is really the last of it. I think I would say was remarks, sketches, and everything way overpriced. Some of them I feel like I really, really got my money's worth, and we'll get into that. But like for some certain artists, but I don't want to single them out. Little doodles, like literally like this size, it $95, $100, and it's literally it's like a 3 second thing. Like I understand, like they're there to make their money, and they did. I mean, some people ran out of time to do any more sketches, remarks, but they were charging arm and a leg. I've never been to a show where they've charged that much. OAX, which me and Michael went a month prior, for the amount of talent that they had there, and then the experience you get with those artists, I feel like you were getting such a good price on it. But yeah, this show they were really trying to, get you to pay that premium, which you'll hear and see from us in a minute. We did, and I thought it was for certain reasons worth it. But yeah, any other time, if certain artists were to come to over here or come more to the states, I would say no. I would wait, or at least get maybe one or two. But they brought some talent in that you don't see every day, or even a year sometimes. So, and like I said, we'll get more into that later. But I don't want to single anyone out per se, but I would say there were some artists that were just heavily overpriced, in my opinion. And I did pass on some of those. What are your thoughts, Michael?
It was about the same. Like you said, uh, remarks are getting to be ridiculously overpriced. I used to get them for free, but that was back in the '80s. So I've been doing stuff like this for buku years and never got charged for it. So I first got charged a while back, not this con, I'm talking about like even 10 years ago, I was shocked, but then, that's a change of the times and the name of the game, whatever you want to call it. That's why I stick with asking them if they'll do a remark on paper. And I also ask them, can you leave room for me to continue if I see you the next time? And they do, and they think it's weird. They've never, I like to. They've never heard that before, which is what I like. So I've done it with Jay Lee, Mark Silvestri, and a couple other ones. And sometimes it's worth it because you pay for a remark price and you get a bust, and you might come ahead. Sometimes you don't, but it's always fun. It's always good to see what they come up with when it's something that wasn't uh, meant to be at the first time. And name of the game.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And going into, those remarks, those sketches, everything we got, I'm one that I would tell them, I usually would be like, hey, do what you want. But I think I came to that point, especially for, maybe how much you're paying for it. Like, I want to give them an idea, like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? And they'll be like, okay, that's cool. And then you hope for the best. And like I said, for me, everything came out way better than I expected for every single thing that I got. And like I said, it was the interaction with them too. I don't think I ran into one artist that I would say, oh, they kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Everyone was super cool. Um, but kind of going into the floor itself, moving over to past artist alley, the main floor, there were some people that we saw from Texas that we went to go see, like Rick from Rick's Comic Grip, super nice guy. So if you ever see my show, definitely give him support. Um, Very nice guy. His son Aaron, they were there at that show selling. Saw a couple other people that were selling, but overall they said that they did pretty good from over there. I did not go so much to the celebrity side because there was one person I did want to meet, but it didn't end up working out. So I kind of avoided that area. But the comic side, they had a little more comics than I expected. From what I've heard in the past, they didn't have too many. But I felt like they had enough tables over there. Of course, you're looking at com prices, so that is another thing as well. But they did have some big books over there. Another thing that was massive was Clayton Crane's. His was 2 stories. I never seen that before. And I don't know, Michael. I think you were kind of over there a little too. So if you want to talk about that,
I did not understand that one bit. It wasn't just two-story, but he had like the equivalent of 4 tables spread out because you had a walkway in between them,
hmm
and it was all carpeted. And he had CGC. Obviously, they were the ones that Jim Lee donated or to show off or whatever it was that Jim Lee had.
yeah,
And it was like I said, 2 stories with lights, the LED TV screens all over the
right.
place, a camera that you can see what Crane is signing and sketching and doodling. It was just I don't know who paid for that. That actually came from his pocket or somebody's promoting him. I don't know,
No,
but it was kind of cool at the same time, but
over the
just
top.
just more of a big old question mark than anything else.
Um,
And don't forget, we got to give a shout out to T Rex for hooking us up.
yep. Yeah, I was gonna get to that too. Yeah,
Thank
T Rex
you.
came in clutch. Like I said, the guys from Heroes After Dark were just super nice. I didn't get to see all of them, but I did run get by them, throughout the show. So I know they were doing their thing. They had their family there, so it was good to even see them for even a couple of minutes down there. So thank you guys again. Those guys are the best. Give them a follow. They have a YouTube channel as well. Yeah, hit them up definitely. Great guys. But also another thing with the show was I guess you would say well, you were kind of looking more towards the like cosplayers kind of thing, and that was a little confusing too in the beginning for you because they were like saying, "Oh, they're over here, they're over there," and it was just kind of all over the place. You want to speak a little bit about that?
No, because it actually it was the Instagram that they posted on Instagram
Mhm,
what number they were at, but one of them it just didn't come out clear, and I
mhm,
couldn't hear what she said. So it took me about I think she posted on her third video. She actually has it down.
mhm,
Look for me in booth number, and I said, oh, okay, then that's where it is. But
mhm.
the whole time I was just, I mean, all 4 days I was confused. I kept going one direction, and Mark would say to meet me here, and I'm going the opposite, thinking that I'm going the right way. I mean, that's how massive it was.
Yeah, yeah, nothing like I've been to, and I'm sure same with you the way you're saying it. Like if we depending on work, if we go back to Dallas, it's gonna look like a local show compared to what
I
we
mean,
dealt
I'll
with
put
over
it
there.
like this. I'll put it like this. We're Texas. We're trained in Dallas. Dallas trained us. Megacon, you can't break us.
Yeah, it was something for sure. But overall, great time. But I guess if you want to start going over stuff, so
Yeah.
if you want, I'm gonna go over. Did you buy any like thing besides like any sketches, arts?
No, I didn't buy nothing. No books, no nothing. Just what I brought.
Mhm.
And well, I bought some exclusives. I did buy some exclusives. So yes, I did.
Okay. If well, you want to show these first, like the stuff that we picked. I only have a few books, but and then we can
Yeah.
go into the art and stuff.
Yeah. I'll start with everything actually because it's only
Yeah.
like
Let me get you up
so
here.
somebody gave me an ash can encrypted. Don't know much of the info on that one, but I'll keep it.
hmm
Maybe do as a giveaway. Here's the Dort that everybody was after,
Yep.
signed by both Brett Bean and the cover artist Howard.
Nice.
And this one got signed by Brett Bean. Then the Spears, of course, the Spears. So got this is the foil, the connecting foil cover. Got this with what's his name, Snyder. This one with Jason Aaron. So it's all Mark Spears connecting covers.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is the Mark Spears exclusive spot foil.
What was it? They're only selling like they only had like 150 or something. Really low
Something
count.
like that. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
something weird that I saw.
Hmm.
Um, Suspiria on Sun's Killing the Children. This is the Virgin variant. This is the foil. And this is a glow in the dark.
Nice.
And this is the cosplayer that we were referring to. This one right here. So that I've got the first three signed by her, waiting to do the next three. And I got this for my daughter. This is a celebrity that we were talking about. So I got this for her, and it comes with a good story because I was in line, phone. Nobody was calling me. Nobody was doing anything. I was playing on the phone games. And as soon as I get up to him, guess who calls? My daughter. So she got to talk to him, and she thought that was so cool that she hung up afterwards. You want to go? You want me to keep on going with the remarks and art, or
Let me show this real quick, and then we can get into our for both.
you can do this?
All right, let me go over here. Okay. So like I said, I didn't pick up a lot of books. I think maybe like 4. But I'll show the exclusives because of a reason why in a minute. So one of the books I found like very last 10 minutes of the show was Teen Titans 20. This is First Crush. But this is the what do they call this? It's the design variant.
Yeah.
Got a super good deal on it. I was surprised that they sold it for as low as they did, and they even gave me a discount because it's the last day of the show. Anything less than what they need to take is always a plus. Got that. Um, if anyone that knows me, they know I'm always looking for newsstands, especially Miles. Came across
Jeez.
this one, number 13. Now I will say this is probably the most damaged one I have. It's like a stain water. I don't know if that's coffee or what, but anytime I see it, I don't care what grade it is. And I got those two. Got this one and that one and this one, 14. Which once you get to the higher numbers, they're a lot harder to find. Found that, and then with that, found number 1 newsstand. And then I went to another booth.
Guys, I don't know how he does it.
Found another one. So yeah, these are 1%. So this was actually on their wall, but I talked them down again last day. Those are the last books that I picked up, besides 2 more, which I'll show for a reason why in a little bit. But those are the ones that I found. But let me pull Michael back in here. Oh, sorry. All right. Yeah, and we'll get into the sketches, art, everything right here. So let me pull Michael back up. All right, Michael, you're up.
I am missing 2 books. I just realized. Let me see. They're right here.
Okay.
So I can get those later. So I got Sarah Pacelli. This is what I'm talking about. It's a remark that I asked to do on paper, and I asked her if she would leave space to continue if I ever meet her again. She said sure. So she did it. So this is what I'm talking about. So I'm happy with this. Hopefully things will work out. That I'll see her again. Maybe in a year, maybe 2. Don't know. And then the remarks. This is Eon.
Nice.
I did not expect that at all. I thought this was his remark, the signature. But this is the Poison Ivy foil. This is Jihong Lee.
That one's super nice. I like that one a lot.
Wanted the Virgin variant, but could never find one. So I had this. I bought this when it first came out. So that I'm going to have to pull this one now because of the sticker. I'm not going to be able to. So this is Absolute Batman 15 Virgin variant. Jock remark.
That came out great.
And then Snyder signature, and he put ha. So that is going to be considered a remark, to tell you the truth.
That came out great. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Everybody. Yeah, I was shocked. at how big it was. And this one I was absolutely floored by. This is Lozano.
Look at that. Ah, such a good cover. Yeah, that's awesome.
This is the second print, which I think is better than the first print because all the
Mhm.
bill is all gone. It's just the logo. That's it. I
And
think
guys, the camera doesn't do it. Like once you see it in person, it's by far amazing.
this one is Josh Howard. He drew the ghost chicken. Did not get Brett Bean to sign this. That was the one mistake that I made during this whole con. And this is Suspiria. This is the Nectar number one.
Mhm.
Warning. There is a second print of this book coming out with the. I don't know if it's going to be the same book, but she did a remark right there with the butterfly, the face, and the butterfly. Suspiria. And that's it for now until I find those other two.
Okay. Let me pull it back. Let me give me. So obviously the main reason why I went was for Pacelli. She says she hasn't been here in I think a couple plus or like 2+ years. So I want to show the signatures that I got so far. This is the one thing I did not do anything on it, which I kind of regret now. But first, you Miles had her sign that, and you can see a lot of the stuff that I posted already if you follow me already on Instagram. But going into the remarks, I'm putting them uh, from I guess to my favorite. No, they're all I love them all, but the ones that really stuck out to me. So met Stegman for the first time. Went to his booth at 8, waited till 11 to meet him. Uh, had him do Dylan. This is the tongue variant, and I love the way he did the white around, and then he did the the real thin ink. The pen came out great. Super nice guy. Like I said, everyone that I met was very nice, and he was definitely one of them. And this one next is Miko Suyan. This one, like I told him where I wanted Miles. This is from the issue where um, Miles goes to the main Marvel universe. But this is. Let me put this over here. Look where he put. Look at that. Look at Galactus's hands, and then look at where he did his head.
That's,
Absolutely. The what?
that's awesome.
No, I was not expecting that. Uh oh yeah. What? Sorry, my nephew came in. But yeah, that one, and then now getting into the Bocelli. Um, yeah. Hold on a sec. So had first Miles and Peter meet up. She did the head sketch, and I asked her if she can do a little quote on there. And Peter says, "Hi, I'm Peter. Hi, I'm Miles." So, love the way that came out. Uh, this one, first time, or the time that Miles officially becomes Spider-Man, had David Messina, Pacelli, and then Carrie Andrews. Had them all do a remark on this one, which came out amazing. And these are all on my newsstands, by the way. Um, I'm not gonna say it, but Michael, if you see the names, if you know, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, came out awesome with all three of them. But this is the one that takes the cake. This is the very first thing that I got over there. Has Andrews on it, but I had Pacelli do 5 different remarks on one book. Yeah, I know. It was
Insane.
had the whole. I had to get the whole squad on there. Obviously, Miles, Genki, uh, the uncle, and then parents. Um, yeah. She told me too. I was not. I've never had that happen before, but I just had to get them done. It came out way better than I thought, and then of course Andrew's right there. Now all I got to get is Bendis and then to autograph it, and everything will be complete for this. Had that done. Now, last two books. Oh, actually, I forgot all about these. I'm gonna save these last two books for after this. Uh, In Huck Lee he did this magic card. Had him do a Miles on there, which I kind of wish I did it a little different. Um, Miles, he did Miles right here. This one really nice. So EM Gist, me and Michael. Well, he was at the show last month for OAX. I had him sign it, but he was unable to do any kind of remarks because he was fully booked. Had him do this one finally. Came out really good. I didn't know which way he was going with it at the beginning because I didn't know. It just looked kind of funny. But then once he completed everything, I was like, okay, now it looks. I was a little worried. I'm not gonna lie. Then this is the first one ever done at for Scott's Collectibles. They brought these sketch cards out that are just specifically for them and their artist. So this is the first one they said that was ever completed, and that was actually Sarah Pacelli. Of course, had to get it done. Had Pacelli do this because I wanted to get her to do a remark on this, but she said I could do it, but it's gonna be look kind of funny or it's gonna look kind of off for the space. So I had her sign my magic card, and then I had her do, of course, the miles on their signature sketch cards. Now the only thing is, I guess a lot of artists, because I've noticed this for a couple other people I saw, it would have been better if they did it here and then around, but I guess they accidentally did it upside down. But it came out great either way. And then I met Federico Vincetti. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. Had him do, of course, the miles because he worked on the last run, which came out amazing. He signed this too, but Megacon. Uh, and then the last two books that I got, I'm gonna share my screen real quick and show this. So this was actually White Sky #1 was released a couple weeks ago, maybe almost a month ago actually. So the artist JP was announced at the last minute, maybe like a week or two. Because I didn't see him on the list. So I didn't bring my White Sky #1 to get signed. I forgot. But this book was only specifically for the con, only 250 copies. So just look, this is how it is. It's a sketch. It's already, it's not an actual sketch, but it's the way it came on the book. So I had that. So I went ahead and got this done. I wanted to do something a little different and asked him if he could do this, which gave me a killer price on it. Wait, so I had him do Violet, and first time Michael saw it, I guess he thought like it was already part of the book, and
Yeah.
this was it. And if, in all honesty, that's why I wanted to show that part first because it looks like it was part of the book already. And I was so impressed with it that I went back the next day and had him do another one, but I had him do it with her holding the gun. So, and he said too, like he was not expecting anyone to ask for something like this. And I think they came out amazing. That's why I wanted to save these two last because these were the two best pieces out of everything. I feel like for me at the show. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna let Michael take it from here.
You got the sketch that I
Yeah,
left at
yeah, I got it
home.
right here. Show it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Michael talk about it, but I'm gonna show it right
So
now.
that was mine from Belina Ortega. That's a head sketch. Fantastic. Just came out fantastic. I was just floored by the size and just the overall work that she did. That was it.
Yeah, no, this came
I
out
have
amazing.
two more books to show, and then I'll be done.
Yeah, let me get you right over here. Put that right here, and hold on. All right, there you go, man.
So I went ahead and I got this done. She signed and kissed it.
That's awesome.
So that's that one and this one also. So all I gotta do now is get Sosa Micah. Maybe I can get her to do the same. And while since I waited so long and went multiple times to her table, she gave me this.
Oh, I didn't see that one. That's cool.
Yeah, and she gave me this.
There you go.
That's it.
Nice. The last thing that I grabbed, and it was literally on the way out to the show. I think I was meeting up with you, Michael. So I packed up Suyan's table one last time, and all of a sudden I see this sign right there on the table. There's nothing else on the table, and his handler, I guess the people he was working with were, uh, connected to this booth, and all of a sudden I see this sign here, and it says on break until 2027, and he signed it, put a little smiley face, and I asked the guy, I was like, you know, he did that. Like he signed. He's like, yeah. I was like, can I just have it? Just to take it. I'm gonna take it to him next year if he shows up. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, take it. That's fine. So this is literally the last thing I grabbed at the show. But it was good though. I mean, overall, my thoughts of the show was, and I think we both rated on the way home. I personally gave it a 9. Obviously, 10 would have to be like there was nothing wrong at all. There was just those issues we talked about at the beginning. But now that we know certain stuff, going back, I don't think it would happen again. We would be better prepared, at least on my end. I know the stuff I was kind of complaining about, but um, yeah. So, like I said, I gave it like a 9 out of 10. Me, and I definitely would go back. Michael,
Yeah, I'm thinking that's another possibility. Not gonna say no. Never say no.
yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be better preparation.
Hmm.
Uh, hitting the stores, hitting the grocery store or convenience store beforehand.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be a big game changer. But uh, otherwise, other than that, yeah, save your pennies and enjoy.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that could have changed things is, like you said, better prepared, and that was on my side too, because it was very last second. Because we went to OAX literally a month prior, so we didn't actually get to. We weren't expecting to go, in all honesty, and I know
No,
you weren't. So again, thank you for coming, Michael. Michael was, a big support and help on the trip. He drove back and forth, so hats off to him. Thank you again. Sorry about the dog, guys.
yeah, Texas, we're crazy.
Yeah, it was something for sure, but a great time though. So I was glad to go with Michael. Michael was there too, so I wouldn't have traded anything for the world. So thanks, man, for coming and just being there in general and a good friend. So thanks.
My pleasure.
But I think that's it, guys. We kept it under 45 minutes, which I think is a record for this, for anything
Hmm.
I've ever done on here. So again, sorry about the dog. That's why I'm kind of wrapping it up. But you have any last words, Michael, or anything to say?
Nope, that's it.
All right, guys, that's gonna be it though. But make sure to check out Michael. He has a channel as well. He does upload. He also has his Instagram, of course. So definitely give him a follow. He always has great things. Hit him up if you have questions about books in general. He's very knowledgeable. So again, thank you guys for everything, and y'all have a great night.